Hello Internet, welcome back to the Waifus. I'm Sefhi, and today we're gonna be talking a little bit about Lapchan, our favorite hero and her favorite treasure or her treasure item, her favorite item, whatever you wanna call them. I still don't know what they went with favorite item. I think it's because it's easier to put it on other characters, not only on all the ones to catch up, right? You can put the favorite item on Modernia and have some lore behind it, rather than just all the units that kind of are bad. That's my opinion, at least on why they call favorite items now. Now, all that on the side, we're going to be talking about numbers, comparing her treasure on a full invested Laplace Core 4 to my Laplace with an SR doll phase 12 right now, Core 7. And we're going to be comparing her to, of course, all the meta units. We already ran these numbers, so I'm going to be showing you. And then also talking a little bit about a book supposed that's going on with her damage. So she should be even doing more damage if what people are saying is true. I did not test this myself, so I'm gonna be just basically showing you two threads, one on Discord, one on Arca Live. Shout out to Gatrix because he's the one who noticed this. I'll disable. There we go, Gatrix. Right? Shout out to him. He's the one who noticed this. So there is a problem right now. Basically, the S2 extra damage. So if we come here to the favorite item and we come here, favorite item, phase 2. This book prevents your S2 damage coexisting with your burst true damage. So this is basically the book, right? Damage is not being added. You have your true damage here on your burst, and then you have your extra damage as well here now that is not broken properly. So we'll see if this is really a book or not. If it's a book, this is pretty good. Now you might think, Sefhi, how is this good? Because we're already running tests with her phase 2, right? And this is not even including phase 3. When we get phase 3, we will update this test. But already on phase 2, she is doing a lot more damage than before compared to most of the meta units. Now, I will also leave on the description this thread on Arca Live if you guys want to go over it, where they actually also took notice on this and are explaining it. And as you can see, all of the reactions with Lapchan, Arca Live and the reactions are top tier, bro. I swear to God. They have like the best stickers to steal and use in your community. Appropriate, ask for permission and use them, right? So, all that said, I will leave this in the description and you guys can go into the official Discord and join the conversation with Gatrix if you are curious about what's going on with her skill 1 and her burst. That said, let's talk about what's interesting for us, and that's going to be numbers, right? So let me come here. So, two things, all right? This Laplace, this is Core 4 fully invested, right? Level 5, 10, 10, 10. Laplace with a phase 2 treasure, so skill 2 and burst. No one else has it all, and we run this test always on elemental neutral advantage, so no one had elemental advantage, right? That's the first thing. And then we'll compare to my account where it's a core 7, 10, 8, 9. I don't have more books, I tried to level it up. What can I say? Phase 12 SR treasure, Scarlet also SR treasure, phase 0 full invested, SBS no treasure full invested, and Red Hood R treasure phase 0 full invested. These tests are always going to be a little bit weird because it's hard, right? Because most people will not be able to get a purple doll to level 15 to compare to a Laplace on phase 3. It is so expensive. We're talking about months of actual investment. So also that leads me to my next question before we go into the numbers. Do you guys think when we update the tier list for all of these characters with dolls, right? For example, Laplace is going at least to T1. She's going to T1. Should we put high investment as a flag for characters with the treasures? Because we have a new flag already, right? Like these icons on top. We have a new one ready for treasures. It's like a weapon, so you know what characters have that tier list placement based on their weapon. But I also believe that goes hand in hand with high investment because there is so much RNG involved that it can take months for some people. So I think I'm going to be putting this high investment, this dollar flag, as well as the treasure or the weapon, whatever it is, right? But yes, she's going at least high a little bit to T1 at least. We need to wait for phase 3 and also wait to see if she's already booked or not because she's going to be doing more damage. So, first of all, Laplace Core 4 fully invested. Sefhi, shut up, show us the numbers. That was the first test we ran with Krone and Naga. And with the Red Hood fully invested as well, 472 versus 455. This should tell you already everything you need to know. Laplace with the treasure is finally usable. This, of course, doesn't take into consideration that you will have a Red Hood with a doll leveled up as well. But again, this makes a character that was barely usable, or if we talk about rocket launchers, right? If we go weapons, rocket launcher. If we talk about rocket launchers, it was a Scarlet Black Shadow. You could use A2, but she's too situational. You could use Emilia, but if you started playing later or you get unlucky, you're fucked. So there were no like real good DPSs, save for power. Like power is another collab unit. Your other options were like Laplace and Bestie, which is let's say underwhelming damage. But now Laplace is actually better than both Emilia and A2. Of course, they are situational, right? They are situational, and Emilia can put some amazing numbers. A2, depending on the boss, can put some amazing numbers as well. But we're talking about catching up to Redwood, one of the best units in the game. Again, of course, no doll. What about SBS, Sefhi? All right, same test, Liter, Crow, Naga. SBS, Lapchan, 490, 582, less than 100 mil difference. This is amazing. Again, we have to consider that everything you put against SBS, and you'll see this on my numbers below. And in fact, I'm going to be showcasing this at the same time. If you see a normal SBS, you'll see that there is a big difference. And my Laplace, by the way, has 145k CP and my SBS 117. So we're talking about units that have a lot more combat power, but she cannot catch up even in that regard in damage. And on this first one that we were saying, right, which is almost the same damage with Red Hood, if I go to my account, now you see that the Red Hood is obviously better. And this is the same, a lot more combat power than my Red Hood. That's the only reason that she's catching up. So in that sense, you can appreciate how she's actually catching up. Not catching up, she's not going to be the new meta unit, but she is pretty good. And if her damage is booked, and we put also into consideration phase 3, she's only going to be getting better, which is amazing. Now later, after that one, we ran a test with REM and still SBS and Lapchan, where she did 248, 325. This is pretty good with the treasure again, and REM being a good support. Also Modernia in here. Modernia, of course, is not getting she doesn't get any benefit from this team because REM is not buffing her, but still almost catching up to Laplace. Same test in my account, and of course my REM did even more damage than Laplace. This is a normal Laplace situation where she's not a bad DPS, but she gets out damaged by basically everything else, right? Like REM doing more damage, Modernia doing more damage, SBS doing more damage, of course. And then we go into this one, which is Bunnies with Laplace and Modernia. Modernia of Burst. In this case, she's doing a little bit more damage. This Modernia is not invested, by the way, 85k versus 121, and still she's out damaging her. Right? There is situations where no matter how good the treasure is, it's not gonna be making miracles here. Right? And then we did the same on my account. My Laplace did 226, and my Modernia just blew her out of the water. And then lastly, you can ignore this one. This was for fun because again, the problem with A2 running a 3-minute fight is that there is no parts for her to be destroying, so it's not a fair comparison. This was a meme. But I put my Laplace with the treasure against my Scarlet. What the fuck, Scarlet? You're falling off. So my Laplace again, 145 and 123. She did almost the same damage as my Scarlet, which is pretty nice. This was all neutral advantage always. As you can see, this is the investment that my Laplace had and the other units as well had, right? And in his case, it's a fully invested Laplace versus characters without it all, but it's still fully invested. So this is pretty nice. This to me means that most characters with a treasure, as long as it's a decent treasure, now you have a reason if you want to use them. Of course, it's not going to be like required to, but it's finally good to have units that you might like getting some love, getting some extra bond stories, getting the new backgrounds here for the character page and the lobby, and actually being usable in-game. So I have zero complaints right now. My only complaint, I want to wait like a month until I make a video on it, is going to be resource acquisition for that maintenance. That looks like it's going to be probably the worst part. Probably the worst part. So we'll see after a month. I probably go on a call with other creators, see how they're feeling, see how in general what we feel about this new system, right? Now all that said, that's gonna be it for this one. I just wanted to showcase you what's going on, the book. Again, shout out to Gatrix, shout out to the Arca Live community. You guys can have the links in the description, and what's going on with Lapchan and phase 2 damage, looking really, really fucking good. So as I said, Apostles, that's gonna be it for this one. I love you all as usual. Come later to stream. We're gonna be live playing some gachas, Chinese gachas. But anyways, Nike, thank you to my patrons for making this content possible. Good luck with your pool dinner rates, and I'll see you on the next one.
役立たずは楽園から追放するのみ。ブランとノワールのショータイムです。天地万物を切るとはこういうことだ。